The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of HBCU Hour. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Ant Petty Murphy in the building. It's good with you, my boy.
What's happening with it, bro?
Not much, man. I know. I'll say this. It's not. It don't feel right, man. We're supposed to be
No, man.
content factor. It's supposed to be in content factor. But it might be. It might be. It might be. It might be best though, because Dylan been tempting me. Dylan told me, he said, "Daddy, the game out." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I don't know who you gonna pick, but you ready?" It's like you don't want the problems on that. Oh, you don't want the problems on that controller, young man. You don't want. Listen, it's been 10 years. I might hurt your feelings, Dylan, just off the principle.
Whatever you do, don't go online and play one of these little 13-year-old little boys.
No, I ain't gonna do that, man. Them kids
gonna put some smoke on some of these grown folks that ain't played the game in 10 years.
Dude, listen, I'll never forget. I had to realize, I learned it was probably first year of marriage or whatever, you know what I'm saying, about 9 years ago. My wife was, she came in the room and I was going off. You up. You don't know who you talking to. I was playing Call of Duty. My wife was like, who you talking to? I said, I don't know the little boy.
I ain't talking about. I'm talking about the fact that some of these little boys finna put up 80 on.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. They was killing me. Dude, I'm talking about I was getting whooped. But yeah, Alvin said, no mercy. I mean, he said beat his cousin 99 nothing in Tech Mobile.
Yeah, them tell you, it's gonna get real in these streets, man.
Man.
What's up? It's finna be some dads wanting to put hands on sons around.
Hey, I'm telling you, I told you what happened that day. Dylan beat me in Madden. Never again. I was like, and I was trying. I was literally trying to say, okay, all right, I see we're gonna have to change the strategy up on you. Never again. But man, we got a good one tonight. Got a nice panel. Somebody been asking us every week, why them folks come on your show and lie like that? Why you let them come on your show and lie like that? So I said, well, listen, you can come, you can set the record straight, you can make sure don't nobody lie when we on here tonight. We got one person on here I think gonna lie. I ain't gonna say who it is. Oh, look at that intro is straight planes. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. But he gonna be lying. I'm tell you. We brought him in to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Partial. And y'all, you know what? Through it all, I'm telling you, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get ready to bring the folks up after we gonna do our ad. But I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I know I ain't got him. What evidence you got on Zach? Because Zach keep risking his platform and all his good character and coming up here with our foolishness. I don't understand it. He love us. We love you too, Zach. I don't know why he risk it every time.
We talk, it is, man. He had SWAC Media days. He ain't got nothing to do right now. That's all it is.
We told him the first time he came on here, you came at your own risk. He came back the next time. We said, okay, listen. At
this point, he's family now. Don't ask me to go get you no food. You better go in that refrigerator and get yourself.
Yeah. He don't need. Listen, we appreciate him. Anytime we ever ask that man to come on, matter of fact, all three of these gentlemen, anytime we ever ask them to come on, man, they come on and with no hesitation. We appreciate them. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors, and then we'll come back with the so we can decipher some of these stories we didn't heard this preview cycle. But let's give a shout out to our sponsor over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We'll be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Listen, if you got a player that can, that's doing things on any level in HBCU, I don't care where it's at, this man gonna know about it. Gonna welcome back our good man, Coach Gerald Huggins Jr. We had to bring him back, help us talk about some of these schools in the SWAC. Figure out, he been making y'all mad with all his lists. But he here with us tonight. He can make y'all mad on our show. Just make sure you like, subscribe, and anyway. All right. I told y'all we keep warning him. He keep coming back. He must like the food or something around here. Our good man Zach back with us, man. And fellas, thank you for joining us. We can figure out some of the questions that have been pondering everybody all preview season. First question. I don't know who want to take it. Who was lying? Who was lying? Tell us who you think was lying. Go ahead. No, it don't even matter who started first.
Everyone. Everybody at MEAC winning 10 games. So I can't wait to see how this shakes out. This is going to be so. It means that we're undefeated out of conference. The whole MEAC. Sign me up. I love it. Shoot, I love to see it. The MEAC one was really bad, but the SWAC definitely made me like, come on, fellas. What are we doing? It's your show, man. I might say something crazy because apparently everybody else does. So let's get right to it.
It's true. It's true. We had some. That's why we got a disclaimer. Banks, we had to play the 4-5 times for Banks. He was saying all kind of wild stuff. But
Banks, he does not represent Morgan State. We don't act like that. You know what I'm saying? We're realists. Most of us are. He's him and his sidekick. They're a little irrational at times. So you gotta let them talk sometimes. Love them though. You gotta let them talk.
Yeah. That's Jay White. That's a really good question. I'm gonna say that. One. But yeah, man. So I do want to announce we were supposed to have Prairie View and Texas Southern last Thursday, I think. But due to the hurricane, people were displaced without power, have different things going on. So we weren't able to do that preview. Jackson State, we were supposed to have one with them as well. That was I think a scheduling conflict. So we'll probably have them on later on. I'm gonna tell you now, they went on. I told Doc Holliday, I said, Jackson State wasn't even on the show, but they was lying. Whatever they said, they was gonna be lying.
They're gonna be good though.
Yeah, they are gonna be good. I joke with them, but yeah. But yeah, man. Zach, already in Birmingham. What's the feel so far? I know you kind of seen a few people.
Yeah, man. It's good. I saw Coach E-Rob down there, Coach Bubba, already checking in some of the players. I think there's some event tonight. So, man, I think everyone's excited. I saw a bunch of the media already here checking out, where they want to set up and things like that. A bunch of people already starting to set up stuff overnight, man. I think everyone's looking forward to it because there's a lot of question marks right now. And also, let's be honest, like you go to some conference media days and you've talked to these coaches, 10, 11, 12 times. everybody in the SWAC has only been here for like 2 years, it feels like. So there's a lot of storylines, a lot to talk about, a lot of questions, man. So I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Yeah. You talked about that setting up. I meant to. I should have told you. Black's College Sport Network got a whole half a room or something. I was gonna say we're gonna have to. They're gonna have to move over or something, scooch over, save me a spot or something. We gonna have nowhere to sit when we get in.
Be like last year, go to the room Zach was in because it wasn't nobody but.
Yeah, that's true.
I was smart, bro. All y'all piled up in that one room. I said I'm gonna go over here by myself and just have it quiet.
Yeah, I might have to do that. That actually makes more sense. But man, Lionel, man, we didn't get to talk to Prairie View, but you have been high on them all off season, since spring.
You could have stopped that. You have been high. You could have just stopped right there.
So let me ask this. Where's all the hype coming from?
Hey, first of all, y'all not gonna get on Blue in the chat like that. You know what I'm saying? If you hungry, just drive down the street and do what you need to do. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna get on my boy Blue because y'all hungry in the chat.
Now listen, me and D-Lob got a rivalry, bro. He's tired of me with UAPB. I said they're gonna lose to Arkansas Baptist. Maybe he was upset. We'll let it slide.
If they lose to man, come on now.
Listen. So where's the hype? I think one, you know, when you talk about seeing a team that was really started to gel, I feel like toward the end of the year, and also you're bringing a lot of those guys back. I know there's a mention of specific individuals that, you know, have used up their eligibility in the program. But with some of those, you know, guys that we have back in the room, I think that's where, you know, we're feeling excitement from. And also when you have Anthony Whedon coming back, you know, home, you know, a guy who has been able to go do it at, you know, other places, right? Like I always say, right? He didn't just do it. He didn't just do it at home, right? At the cookout, right? He done went out, you know, had a job with some other folks too, you know what I'm saying, and got the job done. And has been awarded, right, you know, for getting the job done elsewhere, right? And so he's bringing that, you know, that swag here as well. And so to me, you know, when we look at what we got in our rooms, I feel like that's why we're excited, man. We feel like we've been building the last couple of years. We've been taking those steps and making up, you know, and pushing and making momentum. And so this is now the time to make the next step, right? The next step for us would be, you know, to win SWAC and go play for a Celebration Bowl. So, you know, that's where the excitement is. So, you know, it does not surprise us that other people feel differently because that's just what it is, right? We call it the annual SWAC Media Day, the annual PV Snub Day. That's what we call it, right? So it just really is what it is. But that doesn't mean anything. Why would we feel offended about, you know, Gerald's face when we know that nobody's going to pick us? I mean, but we still have finished first in the West the last 3 years, tied 2 years ago. So it just is what it is, right? But, you know, but people think I'm lying, but in the world, when, you know, in the words of my man Friedrich Nietzsche, he says sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they want to believe and keep their delusions so they're not destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
When you start holding all that, yeah, you lost me with that. But I mean, I give you credit. I'll give you credit. You know, y'all are coming off appearance in the SWAC championship game. You know, but what makes you think that y'all can get over the hump when there's been time after time whenever y'all have gotten so close but have yet to deliver?
Like I say, I mean, I just think what we have added to that. I think my issue last year, and I keep saying it, I know, you know, I know people look at the defensive side of the ball, but when I go back and just look at game in and game, I just look at each specific game itself, right? My issue has always been, and my contention has always been last year, even it's like the offense is putting us in bad situations, right? And I'm just looking at the floor of the game, right? I'm not looking at what the stats say after the game is over. And so I think the defense played, obviously, you know, minus FAMU game, right? You know, those two FAMU games, obviously. But when you look at the rest of the season, right, the defense played well in those games for us to get wins. Even when we look at the Grambling game, the offense has just got very stagnant. If you look at Alcorn game, I mean, very stagnant, second quarter, third quarter. And so to me, having an offensive coordinator that can come in and bring us a different scheme. We were the most unbalanced team in the SWAC last year, 65% run, 35% pass. We were so unbalanced, right?
You gotta have a quarterback to be able to pass, though, right?
Yeah, you need a quarterback for sure, but at the end of the day,
so do y'all have that problem solved?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I believe we got the problem solved, but I know people gonna want to just see it on the field. But yeah, I think the problem is going to be solved. But at the end of the day, to me, it's also about, it's also about how you coach it, right? Like end of the day, right? We know about coaches. If you got to look at what your team, what you have access to, and then you got to say, well, let me mold around what I have access to in the room. I don't think the offensive coordinator we've had the last couple of years has done that, right? I don't think he put the players in the best position to get the job done. The reality is one of our best rooms the last couple of years was our receiver room. But how can you have Samar Savage, who everybody looks at and said, man, this guy is one of those guys. He only had 29 targets last year. That just sounds crazy, right? Where you have Alabama State, you say, man, they kind of got a broken offense, but at least Keyshawn Johnson getting thrown the ball 88 times, right? So to me, that shows that there's the issue to me is primarily from who's calling the plays, right? And to me, if you change that, that's change the dynamic. Again, I know y'all got to see it on the field. I mean, I do too at the end of the day, but that's why I believe, though, right? That's what's making me say I think it's going to be, something different going on. And like I always say, with all of the brokenness that we've had, we still got to the championship game, right? Like we can't like poo-poo that, right? With a quarterback that went 9 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, we still got the championship game, right? With a defense that gave up over 300 yards passing, right? Like we're still in the championship game, so we can't say it as if there's nothing there. Then that means.
But does that say more about Prairie View or more about how bad the West was last year?
No, I think it says more about Prairie View again, because when you look at the numbers, and I said this again, the East and the West is even, right? The East and the West is even when you look at the numbers. So, it's not because the West is so bad, the East is so good. Now, outside of FAMU, this is the reality of the situation. Outside of FAMU, who's the second team in the East?
Like going into this year?
Who finished second in the East last year? That's what we talking about.
Alabama State won.
Actual real record, right?
I thought it was Jackson that won.
No, it's not Jackson. Jackson didn't finish second. They finished third, right? But actual real records, Alabama State. Who did Alabama State lose to? Alcorn State, Prairie View, right? Jackson State. Who they finished third, right? This is the East that's supposed to be so high and mighty. Who did they lose to? Alcorn State. So the reality is, without FAMU being undefeated, that's the only reason it's even in the first place. Let's be real. And the SWAC is not even known for a team to just be going through the SWAC undefeated like that, right? So the East and the West, people may feel that Jackson and Alabama State have better teams, but the reality of the situation on the field that everybody keep telling me about, right? Because everybody keep telling me about, we got to see it on the field. But yet, when Alabama State is losing and Jackson is losing to the team in the West, we keep talking about the East is better than West. That don't make sense. Y'all talking out two sides right now then.
No, if this going to this year, those 3 teams are better than Prairie View on paper. So that's what I'm going off of, based off the players returning, the staffs returning. We have some inkling of what the quarterback situation is going to be in the East in comparison to the West. Nobody knows who's going to start in the West. So that's what I'm banking on. So yeah, the East is way better than the West at the moment.
I was just saying, the only one we know is what, Crawley at Grambling?
That's it. That everybody else, he knows that Prairie View because he's locked in, but we're HBCUs are so secretive because we're trying to steal their information. So
I agree
we're never gonna know until game 1. But for the most part, we only know about Crawley in the West.
Crawley might not even start though,
and that's probably something been floating too. So we really don't know. So the only one I know is definite is Alabama State's quarterback situation. That's the only one I can say is definitive. Everything else is up in the air.
Yeah,
you don't think Morgan and Jackson?
Yeah, I was just saying Morgan.
Jackson fans are saying that Morgan's not starting at Jackson, so that should tell you everything you need to know.
But that's last year they told me
that he is my favorite quarterback
was going to start.
He's my favorite.
If they don't start Morgan, throw away the whole projection.
So it's gonna. I'm just letting y'all. We don't know who's gonna start at quarterback for a lot of these teams. I'm just being honest with you. And everybody on this call, this video right now, then call somebody and ask, and we probably all got the same answer. We don't know. So we don't know. I love Morgan too, though. I think he has a lot of upside. He looks the best. He's the best prospect quarterback wise, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna start.
All right. Tomorrow there's going to be projections. There's going to be the offensive defensive player of the year. I'm not even going to go there yet. But I want to talk about dark horses. I want to talk about dark horses in the SWAC, dark horses in the MEAC, and thoughts. Prairie View has the hype in the SWAC. Morgan State has it in the MEAC for some reason.
What?
Wait, hold on.
No, that's incorrect.
Prairie View does not have the hype.
PV's the hype team?
No, definitely not.
No,
they're not.
I don't know where you get that from.
Did we not? Have we not listened to Alabama State this offseason?
Yeah.
No. I get. Yeah. I mean, I've heard. Yeah, the Alabama State, but I've heard a lot of it's going to be PV Morgan State in the Celebration Bowl.
That was PV.
Bro. You heard me say.
No. Now,
who else is saying PV and Morgan?
Nobody I follow.
There's a lot of people. Hold on. Matter of fact, hold on. One of them was in here before saying it.
Was it Banks?
Banks is one person.
Oh man.
There's another one. And then I've seen it a lot on Twitter.
Oh nah. Well, I ain't said that. And no one on here said that.
Hey, listen, it's the power storylines of narrative. I mean, it's gonna happen, but people all over ain't believing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna happen.
Are y'all the two teams that think y'all can beat each other? And that's the angle we take. I'm you
know what it is, bro. They both talk so much, and they both gotten close, but can't get over the hump. So they always feel like next year is the year.
Listen, man.
PV talk so much. Where y'all get this from? Y'all are literally creating stuff out of thin air right now.
Prairie View Morgan State Celebration Bowl is gonna be like 16-3.
Jerry, you're losing your credibility right now.
I'm not. I saw the defense up close in person. I was like, they have prospects like on every level.
Yeah, Morgan State defense legit, bro.
I'm sorry, dog. That's the best defense in black college football in the past 2 years.
I agree with that.
Like I mean, can Prairie View put up 3 touchdowns on Morgan State's defense right now? Yeah. From what we know?
Yes.
Hold on, Lionel. From what we know, not what we think.
From what we know.
well, let's again, right? I'm going with y'all, right? It's on paper. What do y'all know right now? Nobody
I know about Morgan
tell me what
defense.
They know yet.
Because I know about Morgan State defense.
Hey, listen, I know Coach Reed is the pass game coordinator for Morgan, so that raises an instant upgrade to their offense. I know that.
Hey, say it again, Ty. Release the roster.
That helps too. I think let me check PV's roster. Do they have their updated roster up there?
Nah, definitely not. No. I don't know what they listen. They slow too. They just
like everybody else. Finding y'all, man. Y'all D1, man.
Listen,
I'm D2. We lack the resource. Y'all D1. Y'all got it all. PV.
Hey, listen. At the end of the day, if Norfolk can get 28, then I believe we can get 21. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even. That's not even. Offensively, I think they're a little more polished.
Okay. I don't know about them anymore because I don't. Who's quarterback? Otto Kuhn gone.
Yeah,
he could. It's crazy. He literally could have walked into being the best quarterback in the MEAC, and he didn't even walk into practice. That man walked away.
Man, listen, nobody knows who the best quarterback in the MEAC is. Everybody just want to say their guy, but we really don't know. What sample sizes do we have?
I mean, we got Walker Harris.
What about Walker?
That's 4 games, 2 against D2 opponents.
That's true.
Well, I'm sorry. Ooh, Mississippi Valley. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry.
That's
I
crazy.
didn't mean to.
The
See, I'm not
disrespect.
trying to do this. I don't want to do that. No disrespect. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Mississippi
hey, listen,
one-
don't disrespect the SWAC now.
No, it was one D2 opponent. I'm sorry. I apologize. So,
Yeah.
so they played against Mississippi Valley, who's working their way up, you know, and then they played he played against Winston-Salem, UCLA, and University of Richmond. That's not a good enough sample size for me.
If he would have played this year's Valley team, though, it would have been counted as a quality opponent because they're gonna win 5 games.
I have no.
I'm just saying that's what was said on this show. You know.
I have nothing to say to that. I'll let Zach chime in on that one.
Yep, I've got it right. I've got it written down. Yeah.
I did not know he wasn't going back to Norfolk though. That y'all actually
Yeah, Otto is not the
news right now.
Now, Ty said they got a quarterback that she wanted at A&M, last name Barry. She said bookmark it.
How many quarterbacks do A&M need?
A&M is my dark horse, by the way. Just to throw it out there.
Crazy prediction.
That's a dark horse. That's
Because
that horse.
So I
That
get
horse so dark you can't make it out.
But it's not as crazy as people think. They have a really good their roster compared to most people in the HBCU football is actually way better. They have like a top 5 roster. Just like
they O-line is I know O-line return O-line is really good. The defensive coordinator they just brought in.
Got a good running game. I give them that though. You know
they probably. I'm trying to think now who has a better backfield.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do like
a
that
better
back.
1-2 punch.
I mean, you talking about just running back position?
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, I would say Jackson because I like
Jackson's got a better.
Yeah,
okay.
Their offensive line. Their offensive line is like the best in the SWAC to me, personally.
Yeah. And if you're looking, and if you're looking at running back,
worried that Maynard go Maynard. You ain't worried about that, man?
I mean, I just go off what I see, man. That's all I can go off. They have a good.
I feel you, but like on paper, I'm with you. Like they got a squad on paper, but I just be worried that when you throw the coaching element into it, that they're not gonna live up to what they could.
My biggest gripe with Coach Maynard is the rotating door with the quarterback. I feel like if he stuck with Casey or if he stuck with Langford, I understand they're gonna have bumps and bruises, but if you're always looking over your shoulder, it's gonna be hard. I mean, you gonna mess up, and I'm just saying.
I just don't think people saying A&M being a dark horse is as crazy as everybody just said.
I don't think it's
not A&M, but it's like, yo, just take a second.
I think part of it is because what we just talked about though of how good the East is. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like they gonna have to beat some really good teams to come out the East.
They are, and I don't doubt that. But I think the way they're set up, they're built to be able to beat the teams when they're supposed to beat them. And I just think, and when it gets cold, I ain't trying to tackle that 240-pound man back there. Because if you can stop him before you get to the line of scrimmage, you're good. But once he gets to the second level, now you ask for trouble. And I just did my report on this wide receiver. This kid, Hewitt. Oh my God, this kid is fantastic. Get him the ball. Sorry, this kid is fantastic. He might be my wide receiver 1.
It's also their schedule though, right? Because you're definitely losing against Auburn. You're probably losing on the road against Austin Peay. You're probably losing to Jackson, and you're probably losing to FAMU. And so you got, 4 losses before you get to October?
That's tough. It's hard. They have a hard schedule. I'm not going to lie to you. They do.
And then you got the Magic City Classic. And then you got a trap game of Bethune in between.
It sounds really bad. I know.
It sounds kind of tough. But to your point though, G, if they could get one of those wins versus Fam or Jackson, then they right there in the mix coming out the East. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't far fetched. You know what I mean? But like I said, they got a tough schedule, and they're gonna have to bring the A game week in, week out.
they have to beat one of the 3 top guys. They got to beat one of the 3. At least one of the 3, then at least it's gonna get interesting towards the end. But they got to at least beat Fam or Jackson. They can't lose both. They got to beat one.
I agree.
And, when they play Alabama State, then that's when I'm assuming the way we all feel about Alabama State, that's gonna be a game that's gonna mean something. So we'll see.
Mhm.
I'm just a little higher on A&M than most. I mean, I picked them a couple years ago, and it went really bad for me. But I just like their roster. They have some guys that I could think that they can play next level and stuff, man. So that's why I'm really high on them.
Yeah. Mass this. What's a team that's not being talked about enough? I think you just kind of mentioned them. In my opinion.
Talking about Bethune?
Well, Bethune is one. I think Jackson State is another one.
Jackson being talked about enough?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
when we talk. I mean, we just talked about you know what I'm saying, the hype train and stuff. All I'm hearing is PV, Alabama State. I'm not hearing Jackson. I mean, I'm hearing Jackson State from Jackson State.
I mean, Jackson. Well, I feel like me and Zach, we pretty high on Jackson. I don't know about. I mean, we like their trench guys. Like those guys are going to be phenomenal. So I mean, they got Fabian McCray, Herb Mulligan. We hope that Jacobian's going to start. I mean, that should win the Bethune. I keep hearing Bethune because they have a lot of transfers coming in that are actually pretty good. I mean, they got some good transfers. I know we saw some that were kind of marketing guys. It is what it is. If you could get it, you got a chance to get a Rapid son to come to your program, you do it. It is what it is. Now we have some guys that actually play some ball. And people have been telling me about this. That Woody Jr. Woody the third.
That's what I ask about. Yeah,
they say he's a guy. He ain't getting much run at Cal, but they say he's a guy. So I like to see it translate. So they got a quarterback battle supposed to be going on. They got a quarter that's like 6'6", 240, big kid. So I mean, we'll see. They got a couple running backs. I don't really know about their offensive line. I can see them as a dark horse if they can put all those pieces together. The transfer guys.
Yeah, I know last year, one thing about Bethune was they played everybody tough. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't no gimme game. So if you can add some talent to that same type of mentality and that same type of attitude that they play with, then I think they definitely could be somebody that could surprise some people this year.
I think Bethune is like A&M in the sense that so both of those teams, I guess I would say those are dark horse. I'm not saying dark horse in the sense I don't think either one of them can win the East, right? But as far as them can cause troubles in the East, right? For somebody who wants to, right? Who's saying, man, this is my year. That's what I'm feeling, right? Like, that those teams will be able to play them tough. So the question to me is, which one of those teams for Bethune, because their defense played really well last year. Can they at least be able to establish the run game, right, consistently, so that they can continue to stay in games, similar to like an Alabama State, right? You know what I'm saying? So say, hey, we're just going to lean on our defense. We're not going to allow you to come and just put points on the board. We're going to keep it tough to the end and give our team a chance to win, because that QB play was so bad last year that it's like, if they're gonna not have great QB play, then you have to lean on the run game, then, right? And you have to have guys to do that. So hopefully they have that. I know they brought a lot of transfers in. The same thing, Alabama A&M. I mean, regardless of what you're talking about, X or Avion Smith, both of them for sure can run the ball, right? Like that's one thing we know about both of those quarterbacks. As Alabama A&M is just gonna say, I'm gonna primarily lean on the run game, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's the same even with my quarterback play. Right, I'm going to put them in a position to where they can use their feet and get the job done. You got guys like Hewitt. I know they brought Duke Miller in, right? They believe in him. You know what I'm saying? But I know you got other guys you want to get the ball to, right, out wide. But at the end of the day, listen, just say, listen, this is our bread and butter, and this is what we're going to do. And if you stop us, you just stop us. But we're going to come and we're going to make sure we're going to lead the SWAC in rushing. I think Bethune-Cookman and Alabama A&M say, our goal this year on offense is to lead the SWAC in rushing. Then to me, that means they definitely got some teams, right? Which I do believe both of them can, win some games this year that people may say they can't. But to me, that's going to make the difference, right? Are they saying, I'm going to lead the SWAC in rushing? Because if any one of them do, then that means we're probably going to look at them having great seasons.
I told Jared when Jared was on the show. I know he ain't here. Listen, what's good, Jared? I think Bethune is going to determine the East, not in winning, but I think they can beat a team or say kind of play that spoiler role to help determine the East.
They got to find a quarterback though. Like that's my biggest thing for them. I mean, bro, the quarterback play across the outside of like one or two teams is, I mean, just atrocious. And I mean, you look at Bethune, they were the only team in the SWAC not to be over a 100 grade in offensive efficiency last year. And it's because they couldn't throw the football. Like, I just want to put in perspective, Valley threw for like 30 more yards per game through the air than Bethune-Cookman did.
With a freshman quarterback.
With a true freshman and no wide receivers.
None.
And so that just shows you how bad Bethune-Cookman was. And right now, when you compare the dark horses, Alabama A&M, Bethune, you give Alabama A&M the quarterback advantage with Avian Smith, with Langford coming back, and their wide receiving core. A&M's got the advantage there. So I'm still a little bit skeptical about Bethune-Cookman until they name a starter. Now they got the former 3 or 4 star kid that was at Oklahoma that's coming in there, the Micah Bowens kid, but. I don't put a lot of stock into transfers that haven't played at previous universities, and they got a lot of transfers that didn't play at their previous schools, and so it almost kind of looks like Alabama A&M did. You remember when Maynard signed like 40 transfers and none of them were good? That could be what we have here at Bethune if it all doesn't click.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So, what's some bold predictions that you got for this upcoming season?
Old. Old. Oh boy.
It ain't got to be Valley winning 5 games bold, but just.
I mean, how much bolder can you get than the past 8 episodes? Everybody done said they team winning 10 games. I mean,
to be fair, only 2 people said, or 3 people said their teams were winning 10 games. Other people said 9 and 8. 9 games, 8 games, so I'm sorry. Banks was being modest and he said 7 because he don't count the D2 games. So
they on the schedule though. So
they on the schedule.
They're definitely on the schedule. I had to think. Y'all go ahead.
I guess what people would say is the bold prediction, which I don't think is that bold, right? Is that Southern is not going to be good this year, right? I got them finishing basically 5th in the West, right? That's why I
that's what I got 10 wins.
Say it again.
They're gonna finish 5th with 10 wins.
Well, I don't know. We are established that was a lot earlier in the day. I thought so. So I mean, I think that's the bold prediction, and that I think also Texas Southern. I don't have Texas Southern being as bad as people have them, right? So that's why I have them finishing 4th, right? So I think they're gonna. I got them getting 3 SWAC wins. That's what I got them. So that's probably be the boldest predictions, I guess. Or I mean, probably the PV predictions, which I mean shouldn't be bold because I mean we won the West last year, so I don't get what that is. So that's probably the boldest prediction I got. Hosting the SWAC championship game. Yeah, that's probably the boldest prediction I got. I guess
this guy.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see it as bold. I think that just makes sense. Yeah.
First year head coach wins the West.
It's like 5 of the 6. So
that means anybody but PV pretty much.
I'll just throw it out. I think let's say Texas Southern wins the West.
Ooh.
I
got one for you.
At least I trust the quarterback.
I'm gonna go MEAC.
Ooh, here we go.
Howard 3 peats.
2.5 peats.
You know what?
Okay, 2.5 peats.
It's not. Oh wow. Oh, you're doing that.
I mean,
no sir. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
2.5 is crazy. I mean that's. Oh man, I mean they have some really good players coming back though. I mean they lost. I mean I know they lost Q Will, but I mean we could all agree.
Are you worried about the O-line losing Donkwa?
Only because I trust the O-line coach. I'm not too concerned, but losing him and Weatherspoon is tough on the outside. But their interior is in shape. So end of the day, they're not going to get too much pressure up the middle. Defensive line wise, they have a guy coming back that didn't play last year. His name is Sarah. Last name Seraph, and he was really good. He hurt his. I think he tore his ACL or something. And they combine that with Jamel Stewart. That should be pretty tough. Linebacker wise, they have the top 3 linebacker for me. Terrence Holland, I think he's going to be a really solid player. I hope he comes back. If he has another year, I want him to do another year. But if he comes out this year, I got him as like a mini camp guy right now. But I think he has a lot of potential. And then they got the best DB core in all college. Well, black college football. They got Robert Jones. They got Kenny Gallup. They got his brother who's like 6'3" safety. You know what I mean? They have some pieces back there in the back end too. So and then Eden James and Jared Hunter never hurts to help. Yeah. So that's honestly the best running back room, arguably FCS, but definitely HBCU football. So yeah, we just got to figure out who the quarterback is. So that's not crazy for to think that Howard.
I got another one too.
Okay.
All right, North Carolina Central, Howard, Morgan State. All right, that's the right now the big 3. I guess you could say to me at South Carolina State takes 2 out of 3.
Them two must gonna be Howard and North Carolina Central then.
I don't think Morgan going to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, my bold prediction is Morgan State gonna average 23 points on offense.
That's not bold. That's drunk. That is.
Hey, what I told you earlier, you could have stopped it. He'd be high. Man.
I am a fan of Tyree Reed as a if he's a pass game coordinator at Morgan, it's gonna look different because I believe in him because he's a guy.
Yeah. I don't listen. I feel I don't know how the new OC. I kind of was looking at him, so I'm like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I do like the Kobe guy that they brought in from New Mexico Military Institute, right? And I like JUCO guys, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to look at some of his game. I kind of like him, you know what I'm saying? He's not a guy who does a lot with his feet, but he's able to move around the pocket right. He's able to scramble well and keep his eyes downfield. So the question for me is kind of like what they gonna put around him, you know what I mean? Because I don't really know any guy. Looking at the guys they got, I'm like, I don't know what guys they got around them. The running back room, the same, man. Outside of JJ Davis, I don't know what else they're gonna do right when it comes to that. Now I will say, offensive line, they were really young, so I'm also thinking you're gonna see some improvement from the offensive line too, right? You know what I'm saying? Just because you really look at the offensive line room, you basically got all sophomores and a redshirt junior and a senior and a graduate student, right? So I do think the offensive line, you're going to see a big step up from year 1 to year 2 now, because they had a lot of freshmen get a lot of snaps last year. You see what I'm saying? So to me, that's going to help a lot to hopefully, right, again, the same kind of with Alabama A&M and I say with Bethune, for them to at least establish the run game. Because if they can do that, that's going to help them a whole bunch and make it easy on Kobe, who I think probably might be that guy, right? If they don't go with him, then to me, it's maybe you got to go with Brown, right, and just, again, commit to the run. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a guy who can use his legs a little bit better than the other guy that they had. So, but yeah. But I do, listen, my bold prediction, 23 points a game, Morgan, winning the MEAC.
Okay.
All right. Since he went there, I'm going to ask this question. North Carolina Central. Okay, I'm sorry. PV, Alabama State, North Carolina Central, Howard, Morgan State. Whose hype is more warranted right now?
Team with a quarterback. This is HBCU football. Let's not pretend if you're not winning for the most part. Even when South Carolina State won, that kid lost his mind that game. Listen. That was probably his best year. You just got to have good quarterback play in the right time. So you just got to trust whoever quarterback you trust. That's who you got to go with. I'm not. Listen, you can try to do the defensive thing all you want, but you got to score, man. You got to score, dog. You have to, and you got to keep scoring. That's what happened last Celebration Bowl. Dudes just stopped scoring. They just,
I mean, it's many people talk about Moose, so he put points on the board.
Well,
I'm just saying. I mean, he was wheeled there. Willie there.
That's nice. I like that. I like that.
Hey, man, you get all the opportunities. You got to make some work.
Yeah.
They kept getting the ball back.
That's true.
That's facts.
Goodness.
Sooner or later, something gonna work.
I mean, the defense is out there forever. I mean, eventually they're gonna pop one, and they got him. They caught him like 3 times in a row. It's like, all right, well, that's it. So yeah, you got to. The team with the best quarterback play gonna win this one. This is the year for that.
Banks say Kobe isn't the guy.
Oh, well,
who y'all starting then?
You can
Ask Josh. Josh, because Banks told. Listen, Banks did a whole 30-minute soliloquy, talking about Morgan State, and got mad because Josh was taking notes.
I mean, I can tell. I think I know who who Banks thinks is starting, because it's probably the same person I think. It's probably Taj.
Yeah, that's the.
Taj is going to be the starter. I would almost bet anything you wanted on that.
I would hope so.
He was by far the best quarterback they put out on the field last year.
True freshman.
It's a true freshman too.
Well, yeah, the truth. Banks.
Y'all want a real bowl prediction?
Please go ahead.
A&T does not finish in the bottom 3 in passing next year in the CAA.
That's not.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say
that's crazy. That's bold. That's crazy.
Yeah. The bottom 3. I didn't know where he's going with that one because it was already.
If I would have said top 3, man, that would have been stream shut off. We would have ended the show.
It's another one. We just got to see what quarterback trots out there because we just don't know. It's a whole lot of we don't know.
So Hampton said they predicted 6 wins.
Hampton?
When they won. Hampton. When they won.
They're going to win half a game, maybe.
Hampton.
Something tells me I think they get 4 or 5.
I like it. I think Hampton is built to. Oh God, they're out of conference schedules. They should be okay, but I don't know.
I'm not gonna say they sweep out of conference. I think they do well out of conference, and I think they can squeeze 1 or 2 in conference. I think they'll.
Do you guys know who they play this year in the CAA though?
They only have basically Virginia Union out of conference at Norfolk, Howard, Morgan State.
I mean,
you'll beat Union.
I mean, you got Union, and then you think they're gonna
Norfolk State.
Union
on the road at Norfolk State.
You got them beating Morgan or Howard.
They get 3. I can see 3 wins for them off the rip. Just when I'm looking at the schedule, A&T, Union.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's 3. That's 3. We said you said 6, right?
They said 6. I said that I think they can get 4 or 5.
Oh, you said 4. Oh, I thought you was talking about the 6.
Their conference schedule is brutal, man. At William and Mary, Rhode Island's going to be pretty good this year. You have Elon, Villanova, at Townsend, who's going to be pretty good. Richmond, and then at UAlbany.
Yeah.
They might be able to sneak one of those, but I can't call which one. So I give them 4, not 6. 6 is a lot.
Yes, that's a lot of wins in the CAA.
That's tough. Yeah. And I know CAA they going through their little thing, but let's not. We know what
there's still probably 5 or 6 teams that can make the playoffs next year in the CAA. So the conference is not just they lost a few teams and everyone acted like they were the Pioneer League all of a sudden. It's there's still really, really good football players and teams in this conference.
Yeah, I agree. Someone said Kevin White will be the starting quarterback at A&T.
That's who I think it's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What games do y'all have circled on y'all calendars?
Oh man.
FAMU, South Carolina State, week 1.
Yeah,
I got that Orange Blossom Classic.
Also a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I got Morgan Howard. That one I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see that game.
Jackson State, Alabama State. That's gonna determine a lot of stuff that I got going on for real. So that's the game.
It's two of them, two in state for me. FAMU, Alabama State, and Bethune, Alabama A&M.
Okay.
The Bethune Alabama A&M game, I'm excited for that one too. I feel like that's the game of the dark horses. You know, who's gonna be the dark horse is gonna be who's gonna win that game. I actually think Alabama A&M is gonna win that game. So
yeah, they should.
Yeah.
What SWAC team would have a winning record in the MEAC?
Oh Lord.
Oh, that's
real quick before we get to that. All-Form TV is the other game. I think that could be the de facto like SWAC West championship game.
Everything Blue said minus could, because that's the reality. Yeah.
I think there might be 2 SWAC teams. I think it'll win a record in MEAC. Maybe 3. 2, maybe 3.
Name them.
Next season, or are we going?
Like going into next year or like last year.
Yeah, let's see what he at. What's the specifics?
Because it's different answers if it's last year versus this year.
Definitely, last year way different than what I would say for this year. So, I'm just waiting for that clarification.
Yeah.
Well, we can assume. Oh, next season. Oh yeah, baby. Well, shoot. I'll say the teams that play a MEAC brand of ball. Defense, run the ball. So Jackson, Bama State has the defense to be able to shut out some MEAC offenses. Then they got a quarterback, so that helps. So I'll give them a shot. A winning record in the MEAC. Is that what he said? Winning record? Oh, I mean that's over 500. I mean that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot. I mean, okay, Jackson State, Bama State. I feel like
what about FAM?
Listen, I'm not there yet. I'm still going through their film from last year, and there's a lot of missing pieces there. But I will say the running back room is solid. Not too sure about the O-line. Receivers will be what they always are at FAMU. So they're always going to be somewhat pretty good. I don't know what the quarterback situation is. I don't know who's going to start. I don't know any. I just don't know. Defensively, they should be fine. James Ash is going to be anchoring that defensive line. Linebacker-wise, I don't know who's going to be the guy. And then Kendall Bowe is going to be, leading the DBs. But I just don't really know about FAM. I'm going to have to really see. I don't know.
All right. Lionel, you got to get ready to hop off, man. Before you go, man, you want to tell the people where they can find you and all that good stuff, and give you a little pardon. Give your your pardon shot.
Yeah, man. First of all, I appreciate you guys for having me come on. You know what I'm saying? Super dope to be able to just, be on and rap with you guys. You guys can find me PV versus everybody on YouTube. It's also PV_versus_everybody on Instagram and on Twitter. So again, listen, SWAC Champs 2024. You know what it is. Don't worry about people's faces. I know Gerald making a face right now. You just can't see him. You know what I'm saying? Zach know what it is. He just confused about the right purple and gold school, but he know what it is too. But yeah, this year, man, SWAC champion, you know what it is. We're gonna be at Prairie View December 7th. So I'll holler at y'all though, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, before you go, I slightly forgot. Happy birthday to my boy.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's my birthday. So my wife told me I ain't have nothing. So that's why I thought I'd be on for the long run with y'all. But as I'm here, I'm looking at the window and just keep seeing people coming to my house. So I'm realizing, like, my wife, she's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna throw you this surprise party. So, I love my wife, appreciate her, you know what I mean? So
have fun, brother.
I gotta go rap with my people, you know what I mean?
Happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate you coming through with us. We'll have a couple less lives to go. All right, appreciate you, man.
Don't be lying on us now. All right.
All right, man. Where were we? I think somebody did ask a question, and I said I'll come back to it. Jay White asked, what will be the storylines for SWAC Media Day?
who is the starting quarterback of these schools that are going to have a shot to win the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's the biggest question for me. We know we're going to get everywhere else. I just need to know who the quarterback's going to be.
I think one is going to be hot seats.
Half the damn coaches knew.
I'm about to say there's only one that could possibly be on the hot seat.
That's true. The hot seats.
Unless we're firing first-year head coaches, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
Hold on. To be fair, there's two coaches I could think of that could be on the hot seat.
Who's the other one?
So I think
Yeah.
Maynard and Lonzo Hampton.
Ooh.
UAPB is not going to fire him after on year 2. Who are they going to get?
I don't think they go 5. I don't think they go 5.
No, I don't see that.
I would say no. I can't even say that. No.
I still think Southern could. If Terrence Graves is honestly, if they come out and underperform like a lot of people are predicting, bro, if y'all don't think Southern fans are going to be ready to fire him by like October,
or we know how their fan base has been acting to any decision being made. So I can imagine if things aren't going the way down Tallahassee, then things make it a little interesting. They haven't shown.
There you go, D-Love.
Did they lose to Arkansas? You may be right. Arkansas Baptist is crazy. Yeah, I don't see much hot seat. I think like Eddie Robb, even if he don't win it, like
I don't think he.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eddie Robb's not going anywhere. I really don't think Maynard going anywhere. To be honest with you, that's just me. I don't think he is. I mean, they had many opportunities to do it if they really wanted to.
But this is his last year of the contract, so that now they don't have to do a buyout, and they can just let him walk at the end of the season if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, there's no. I just let it be what it is. We'll see. I mean, boy. Well, I remember going against his teams when they brought them ringers down from the MEAC to the little old D2, thinking they was something. Just beating up on us little kid. Oh, well.
Yeah,
well, that's SWAC, but that's a name.
Yeah, and I think Lee Hole could possibly be on the hot seat, even though it's only year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Del State they have the money, they got the resources, they got the facilities. They gotta win it, man. I remember them being good when I was growing up. Like they were good in like the mid to late 2000s. They were solid. I don't know what's going on. So I wish them the best though, because they got some players too. But I guess that goes but so far. A lot of teams got players, so here we are. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think. That's probably my only questions. I think quarterback play. Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think you definitely got like quarterback play. And then you got some questions about what these coaches are actually going to be like in their first year. Mickey Joseph. You know what I mean? What is Said going to look like at Alabama? I mean, at Alcorn. You got some questions about what some of these first year coaches look like. Dishman at TSU. You know what I mean? Like what these first. I think that's a big storyline. Is you got so many new faces. And even like you said, the coaches who've been here, the veteran coaches ain't been here but 2 or 3 years, so it's still kind of learning what they are and who they are.
Yeah. And you mentioned it. So that was actually another question I got. New year, first year head coaches. Which one find the most success?
Across both conferences or just in the SWAC?
Both. We can both conferences. Because I mean, it's only South Carolina State and half the SWAC. Yeah,
and I guess Alcorn.
Yeah, that's where I would probably go.
They have a good base. I mean, they know what they like and they stick to what they like. So I mean, regardless who the coach is, they're gonna play a certain brand of football. Zach know that too. Like they are who they are, regardless of the coach. So I would say Alcorn is gonna be fighting for the West. as expected, and South Carolina State is going to piss off somebody's fan base. It's going to happen because they do it every year.
2
I think
or 3.
It might be
feel like-
Central
2 or
on
3.
the road.
Cozy gotta be in the mix, but I feel like when you say has more success, I feel like because Alcorn probably gonna be, like you say,
In the mix to win.
in the mix to win
know
to
that?
win the SWAC, and I think FAMU is gonna be probably 3rd in the East.
And that's tough because they probably going to have a pretty decent record.
Yeah,
They
But I
have
mean-
a record.
when you look at, I think Jackson and Bama State both gonna have good records too. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be one of them tiebreaker deals.
Yeah, because Jackson's
They
schedule.
could be
is-
3rd in the East at like with 2 losses in the SWAC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
They could be 9 and it would have to be 3 because they're losing to Troy and Miami for sure.
Yeah,
and
just in the
so-
SWAC though.
I
He
was
just
saying
said
in the
Oh
SWAC.
yeah,
in the
because I can
yeah.
see them even. I mean,
Or
really
losing
and
one
truly,
game in the SWAC, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
and being
Um,
tied for second.
Yeah.
I'm just looking back at their prediction. They said 10 wins too, so I just want to throw that out there.
Who won 10 games? Who won 10 games?
FAMU, ONG
So they're
strike
10 and
zone.
2.
Oh, shout out. Okay.
Yeah, one of them losses is Miami. So
I'm guessing they're losing to
hope
Troy
so.
and Miami, and they're sweeping
Troy and
everybody.
Miami. Yeah, and they said that it's a possibility they can catch Troy slipping because Troy has a
we got
new
a first
coach,
year head coach.
first year head coach, first year quarterback.
Hey,
It's not-
I scout the Sun Belt.
It's not happening.
We're not-
They're not ULM.
Yeah, Summerall left them in a pretty good spot though. Yeah, they're not UL.
Yo, this is no Troy is no it's levels, man. Sorry, ULM. I'll be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Troy.
ULM don't even know who their quarterback is right now. So they
ULM don't know who any position is.
they brought in the most transfer guys of any school in the country, bro.
They're struggling. They're struggling.
They're bad, and it's not the same case as like when Texas State did because G.J. Kinney brought all those kids from UIW, and they were
No,
all
these-
good.
And they're
Most
all
of these
good.
dudes are JUCO guys. Most
Yeah,
of
that's not going to
them
work.
JUCO guys from Mississippi.
Yeah,
They're going to
Texas-
get murdered in that conference in the Sun Belt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're going to get just destroyed.
Yeah.
Sun Belt is tough. It's hard. That's a tough conference.
That is a good conference though.
I love
And
it.
They went from being nothing a few years ago to being when they brought in App State and them boys. It made them a legit conference.
Man. I mean, fam. I mean, I feel them for one. I mean, they feel like they could sweep, the HBCUs, and shoot. I mean, I can't tell them no. I mean, I think they're basing a lot of that off of last year. But I mean,
Of course.
what can I say? They just
They believe in the culture that's in place. They think that coaches are just gonna come in and kind of just pick up what Willie left off and keep it going.
they lost a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of people that were
And
actually
the trenches too.
like they lost some pretty good pieces. So I would like to see it, but I got
They still got talent with Bowler and all, and them guys. They still got talent down there, but just like Jackson State got talent, Bama State got talent. You know what I mean? Like all these teams at the top of the East got talent, so it's gonna take more than just talent.
and they have a coach, what this is year 2 for TC, and this is year 3 or 4? Three for Eddie.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3.
They got a system established. They know what they like. They know what they want to do. Cozy and them still trying to,
Yeah, I mean, and Bama State's only problem has been quarterback.
Yeah.
and they should be fine.
I ain't even gonna say offense because I mean they got they've
That's
had
true, that's true.
Keyshawn, they've had running game. They just ain't necessarily had the quarterback position.
That is true. That's very fair.
So I mean, those two are the top teams in the SWAC to me. Jackson and Alabama State, stuff in the same division. So I mean, I would love for them to be in the SWAC championship game, honestly, but we're not. It's not going to happen. So
Should the SWAC go divisionless like most other school conferences are doing?
yeah, the East is so it's so much.
Man,
Well-
just imagine the last few years having a FAM Jackson State rematch for the SWAC championship.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. I know, but I don't know if we're in the minority for that or not. But
a lot of people bring up travel, which I think could be mitigated by certain like you know like with the like common rivals, like where Jackson will still always play Southern and always play Alcorn, and you're not going to have to travel to, but you know you already got to travel to Bethune every year. So if you're a Jackson, what's the farthest game? Like what, PV maybe Texas Southern?
Mhm.
Like the SWAC's pretty. The hardest travel will be the Texas teams having to go to Florida.
Yeah.
That will be the hardest one, but they don't have to do that every year, even without division. So there's a way to do it. I just, I don't. I mean, with what is there a conference that has? There's no Power Four conferences anymore with divisions, because Big Ten's getting rid of it. SEC's getting rid of it. ACC got rid of it. Big 12 hasn't had it in years.
Never had it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we know SIAC and my man D2, you know what I'm saying, said pros and cons. I love and hate divisionless. So I mean, I'll say last year, first year SIAC was so, as far as having divisionless, was so exciting because every week was like it was a a competition for who's gonna play Benedict, but it was so exciting. So exciting.
Yeah.
And the CIAA, they eliminated it too. So they got rid of divisions too. So I think SWAC might need to just figure it out. But if the money's gonna be an issue, then that's not gonna happen because the revenue is a big thing. So it is what it is. I'm trying to think who y'all think player of the year is gonna be, offense and defense.
Are we talking about preseason? Or are we
preseason?
Preseason pick. I don't know who they're gonna pick. I got my bias pick, but
I think so. Just to go,
there's only two choices for defense.
I was going to okay, go ahead.
Oh, Givens and Malachi Bailey.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Bailey. I didn't know if somebody was going.
Yeah, one of those two has to be defense player. And if they pick anybody else, all the SIDs have to be fired tomorrow.
Yeah, those are the two that stick out. I mean, I think they're gonna be preseason, but I think this kid McDaniel, I'm just high on this kid. Like, he's gonna lose his mind. Like this is like a 60 tackle, 5 for loss, couple interception, couple forced fumble, couple sack kind of guy. And if Jackson State wins the SWAC championship, you know, they win the division, I can't see a way that he doesn't make his way into that. So I don't know. I like the kid, but I think if Givens does what he's been doing, which has been just terrorizing people, I can't see them not giving it to him. Unless, you know, but they like winners. For like, your team has to win, so we'll see. But
I was gonna say, y'all don't think Kendall Bowler gets no love?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought that was.
DB would have to be like, even I don't think Isaiah Hamilton even winning when he lost his mind his last year. But you know, obviously, it was a lot of other good players that year too. I think that was 22 year. So it was like a bunch of guys, but it's gonna be hard for a DB to win that. Yeah. Now Jacob Williams, I just see. Yeah. I do like him. I do. He's gonna rack up 100 tackles again. It's just if Texas Southern is gonna be in the mix to win something. Like that's just what they like. They want to
say number of tackles don't matter because
nah, he got tackles for losses too. He got sacks.
He's saying that because Bubba ain't get it.
Oh, well, hey.
I started calling that man Schnubble. That man said, "Forget y'all. I'm leaving the SWAC. I'm done."
I mean, to win it to win it as a corner, you're probably going to have to put up like Rasheem Mathis stats, like 0-2 Bethune-Cookman, like what 12 or 13 interceptions. Because even when Justin Ford at Montana put up 9 picks and 20 pass breakups, he was not even the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year.
That's crazy, man.
DBs on. I mean, they'll have to. I think a safety has a better shot than a corner.
Yeah.
And maybe a nickel because they like. People, I mean,
they look at tackles and shit like that. You know what I mean?
They like sacks and tackles for loss more than interceptions.
Yeah, which is crazy because one of them gives your team the ball back. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not disagreeing one bit.
That's crazy to me.
But I just think they just I mean, most awards are slanted towards quarterbacks and pass rushers. That's just how it go.
Which, speaking of that, offensive player of the year.
Oh yeah.
Crawley or
for like the third year in a row, Andrew Body.
I was gonna say Crawley or Andrew Body.
I don't know. That's a tough one.
I think it's gonna be body.
Yeah, I think it's Crawler and Andrew Body, honestly.
I mean,
man, I don't know.
I would like it to maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Or outside choice. I'm gonna say Donovan Eaglin. They're not gonna give it to a running back, but if they did,
I don't think he's the top running back in the SWAC.
Oh,
I would go Irv Mulligan over Eaglin.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Irv
Like
Mulligan almost outrushed him in like what 5 less games.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't give it to Howard, so I mean, he was.
Yeah.
That's true. They didn't give it to what's the old boy from Texas Southern,
Ladarius Owens, who should have been SWAC Offensive Player of the Year last year.
That's true. Yeah.
They gave it to Musa just because
he was on a winning team.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to. It's gonna suck. So let's just who's gonna be at the top.
That's why I feel like Crawley not gonna really get the votes that Body gonna get.
It's gonna be tough.
People expecting Bama State to be better than Grambling.
I think I'll lean towards Mulligan, if anything, because he's gonna get the ball a lot, and that offensive line is gonna create some lanes for him. So he's gonna be like a 10 to 12 rushing touchdown guy. Now, if he gets 100 yards a pop, then it's like okay. And they go 9 and whatever or 10 and whatever, then they're probably gonna give it to Herb. Or if Jacob, well, we don't know if Jacoby ain't gonna.
That's why I was about to say Jacoby, but I don't know if he's gonna be the starter. So
if he is though, because you're looking at Jacoby, I'm not comparing him to this player, but he could put up a stat line very similar to like a Davius Richard, where he has like those double-digit touchdowns. He's not going to be a guy who's going to run. I don't think they're going to run him to death in between the 20s, but when they get to the goal line, they're calling 15's number on QB power.
Yeah,
he's big.
Yeah,
he's big. He could do it. I mean, I like to see this kid from A&M get it because they use him right. This kid is fantastic. I just watched his tape, so maybe it's a little recency bias, but this kid is really good, man. We saw what he did to FAMU last year. He had Eric Smith in that poor kid. When you outrunning Eric Smith, I was like, okay, cool. That means you're fast. And this kid, he's compact, breaking tackles, deep ball, went on every level. Oh, he didn't drop a pass last year. He played at A&M, so the quarterback play was. I actually had to write that in the report. It's like he would be better if he was in a better situation.
That's all right. All right. I know we're getting close to the end, so I got a good one for y'all. Biggest upset of the year.
Mississippi Valley over somebody.
You think Mississippi? Who are they gonna beat?
UAP? No, man.
To be fair, 2 years ago we didn't think they'd be Prairie View.
That's fair.
That is true. Last week of the season.
I mean,
are we talking strictly conference matchups, or are we going out of conference too?
Yeah,
we can go out of conference.
Because my biggest one is UL. I think Jackson's beating ULM.
I can see it.
I got Jackson as a favorite. I got the favorite. I don't care what. I'll scout both of them schools. Jackson on paper should win that game.
Yeah, they should.
So can Mississippi Valley get that that first game against Tennessee State? Maybe. No. So I don't know. I don't have anything. I don't really have any. I don't have much. Maybe. Can Tennessee State ruin Howard's homecoming?
Oh, I'm picking that one. That's not even an upset.
I don't know why you would schedule them for homecoming.
I would go on a limb and say, "Oh God, I want to say it."
Anybody gonna pick South Carolina State over fam?
I think Norfolk gonna shock. I think Norfolk gonna shock fam. I've been sitting on this one for about a month now, and I've been watching. It's something. It's like it's sneaky. It's a sneaky game, man. But I can't. I'm not all in on it. But it's a sneaky game. It's just one of those like. Norfolk does have some pieces that if it comes together, And if this running back that I've heard is supposed to be there, that's going to be there. If that works out, then I'm definitely picking North without a doubt. But I think they might shock them. If anything, they might shock them. But I don't really have a lot of upsets because I don't really know the quarterback play. So
That's a fair point.
I could see Norfolk shocking Howard for homecoming at home. That's a tough place to play, man.
Boy, somebody gonna have to. They're gonna have to steal Banks' phone.
We're gonna have to lock his phone up for the weekend.
him and MEAC, Mike. Boy, we're gonna have to.
Man,
The benevolent Bad Brothers.
What you mean? That's the same phone, bro.
That's what I'm saying, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm pretty sure they're the same person, but you can't I don't care what they're the same person. I tell them all the time. I tell them all the time. I just don't. Excuse me. I don't know. I feel like Odom's, man. I feel like I don't know. He's a winner, dog. I just feel like he got to win one of these ones. He got to win one of them. We'll get a good winning record one of these years, man. I just feel like he just wins. I don't know.
All right.
He's been there for a minute. We'll see.
Who y'all got winning the MEAC?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, we already did our preview, so I was kind of forced to pick. I'm jumping out the window. I'm going Morgan.
You got to find the team with the best quarterback and the best defense. So I don't know. They have the most prospects. Actually, people know Morgan. So I don't know, man. You got to go with Morgan. Like, who else would you really go for? That's a lot.
No one else has a proven quarterback, though, because you say go with the best quarterback. I mean, you ain't picking Delaware State even if they had a good quarterback, and then you can't go Howard. You don't know who their quarterback is. Norfolk's quarterback just disappeared and deleted his Twitter, and no one knows where he is right now. Central's starting the first-time starter. South Carolina State has Eric Phoenix, but they got a bunch of D2 kids on the roster. Are they going to be ready to compete at the FCS level? And Phoenix didn't even play at Murray State last year.
No, he did not.
So, therefore, there's literally no team in the MEAC has a quarterback answer right now.
Yeah, and the defense is not going to be good enough to be able to support him. So that's why I just feel like Morgan, worst case, Todd, if he has some hiccups, listen, you can lean on the defense and get you a couple wins. I mean, the defense won them a couple games last year. It's just the offense lost it in the same breath. So it's you got to pick Morgan. You have to.
All right. Who y'all got in the SWAC East?
Shit. Oh, excuse my language.
Don't worry, it's a little button on there say file language. We click yes every time.
Zach, go ahead. Go ahead, Zach.
Bro, don't toss this on me. I went out and jumped on a limb on Morgan. I'm waiting for you on this because I'm down to 2 teams.
Hey, you know what? My heart is telling me to go with Jackson. My heart is. And it's literally like Jackson and Alabama. It's literally right here. Like the only reason I'm putting Jackson ahead of Alabama State right now is because I like Morgan more than I like Body. And I think that offensive line, defensive line, they're maulers. So and Rob McDaniels, I can't wait for all y'all to see it because Alcorn had him stashed away for some reason. I can't wait for y'all to see this guy just let loose. It's gonna be. I'm gonna go Jackson.
It's coming down to
that's my pick too. That's my pick, Jackson.
It's especially because also too with that matchup. So I'll say this: just my heart wants to say Jackson, but here's what I want personally. I just want to tell y'all what would make me the happiest.
Stick with the home state.
I want Bama State to win it because I think Jackson could find a way to, if they beat ULM, there's a chance that they could finish 11-1. Their only loss be Alabama State. Yeah. And guess who's hosting a playoff game?
Yeah.
Because this year the bidding goes away in the FCS playoffs and they're seeded. And the highest seeded team gets to host. Yep. Jackson would host a playoff game next year. I want to see that more than anything. Could you imagine one of those northern teams having to come to the vet?
You're using logic and shit. Okay.
But that's fair. I would love to see that. That would be dope. Both of them get to play some ball in December. You know what I'm saying? That would make me feel real happy. So I like that. I do.
Because Bama State can't go because they got to go play a D2 team.
Yeah. That would be dope though. I
know what you meant. It just came out funny.
Cold-blooded.
Oh man, I know that was okay. So Bama State pretty much has to. They have to go to Celebration Bowl. That's it. Well.
So y'all gonna pick the West or?
Oh shoot! Now Zach, you gotta go. I did the last one.
No, listen. I've already said. I've said this a million times. It's coming down to PV or Alcorn, and if I can ever be biased on this show, I got to rock with my guy, Coach Fred, man, and I'm going with the Braves.
I mean, it's kind of like you can't not go for Alcorn because they just always seem to be there. Yep. They just there. I mean, there was the only reason they didn't go to the SWAC championship game. Why? Because they lost to PV last year, correct? Well,
yeah. And they lost to PV in like week 3.
Dang.
Yeah. That was I think that was Aaron Allen's first start.
Dang. I don't know. What's their quarterback situation? I don't really know.
Tyler Macon.
There's
no secret. It's Tyler Macon.
Well.
And they don't have a Superman, Aaron Allen, to save them this year.
Well, to be fair, they just got. I mean, he went out there and started because you remember, Macon was a starter over Allen last year. He won the battle, and he got hurt third or fourth drive of that game against Southern Miss, and missed the season.
Yeah,
and then once he got healthy, Aaron Allen was playing at an all SWAC level.
He was.
And how are you going to bench him?
Hey, well, I'm rolling with Alcorn then.
How do they replace Howard though? That's my question.
Now they landed a kid from Mercer, or used to go to Mercer. He was a JUCO All-American kid somewhere in Kansas, and he was an All SoCon player at Mercer. He had double-digit touchdowns 2 seasons ago, and had some stuff that sent him to the JUCO route. And now he's back. So I think he's going to be solid. And they had a young guy last year who I really like, and I'm blanking on his name right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big loss for them. They lean them a lot. So that's my main concern with them is how do you replace a guy who is so much of your offense?
Yeah.
Wait, did I miss something? Who y'all talking about?
Alcorn.
Okay. I'm sorry. Sorry. Don't mind me. Sorry.
Now, here's the concern for Alcorn is that they have to go to PV for that game, and it's in late November. And there might not be any room for error to bounce back from that loss.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a tough one. I do think PV has a really solid advantage. It's just a question that I like the kid PV brought in at quarterback from JUCO, the one from Kilgore. But he led JUCO in efficiency as a dual threat guy, 6'4", has the frame. I do think he can use a little bit of development, but you got Anthony Whedon in there, who did it with Haj Malik, who did it at Presbyterian when he took that job. So if there's anyone who can develop a kid who has all the raw athleticism and the stature, it's Anthony Whedon. And so I do think the kid from Kilgore is going to be really good for PV, and that's why I think it's them and Alcorn neck and neck. And I just have too much uncertainty with Grambling and Southern and all these other teams. And I really disagree that Texas Southern is going to be good next year. Jacob Williams is good, quarterback solid. I just don't know if they have the it factor there to win those close games, man. Because last year, every time they got close in a game, they found a way to lose it. You look at, they blew a 21-point lead against FAM. They choked on the road against Southern, had that game in the bag. They lost a 2-point game on the road at Jackson that they choked away. And then look at the collapse against Pine Bluff. It was 35-7.
Yeah.
And they ended up losing that game by 1 point. So it's just, I don't know if that team knows how to win right now.
Yeah. Only concern I have about Alcorn is they got to go to the hole, and they seem to always find a way to lose whenever they come to Grambling.
I don't think they've won in the hole since like 05.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have the better team sometimes, and they still don't, just come in and for whatever reason they just can't win in the hole. So that's my only. But I think they could lose that game and still go to PV and beat them and still come out the West.
All right. Hey, Paris asked this question. Says, do y'all believe in the OC of from Alcorn?
Believe?
I guess it depends on how you define believe. I mean, like I just don't think people understand how low the standard is for that. Like, I don't need them to average 37 points a game. Like, bro, give me like 24, and you probably are the best offense in the division.
Yeah, dang, that's true.
I don't know. I can't call it. I guess I would say I don't know enough about him, to be honest with you. I just know he was at what was he at
He was at Norfolk, but then when he was the OC at UAPB, he was pretty solid.
Wasn't he at Bluefield?
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think he was at Bluefield too.
Yeah,
I like Alcorn because of their defense, personally. So
I want to ask this because not many people have talked about this. Dooley at Grambling as OC, not having to be the head man, just focus on the offense. Does it work?
I like Dooley more than most, so I think this is a Crawley, man. This was his third OC in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's that Q. It's like what happened with Q Williams, man. I think Q Will had like 3 or 4 OCs in his college career. That's hard.
Yeah,
I don't think Dooley's not bad. I think Dooley is I think he actually might be a better OC.
He is.
Coach. So
yeah, some dudes just ain't meant to be number one, man. Some dudes meant to be a backup singer.
That's okay.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I like Dooley. I think he schemes things up well. I like his little mix of running back. And I know he can get a little. He like throw that thing, but I think he has the best. He has one of the. I mean, if he has one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, so have some fun with it. It sucks that they lost Chance Williams and what's my other man?
Floyd.
Yeah, Jose State, man. Though if they would have kept them two, I've been like, yeah, now their offense got a little something to it, and they lost all the G5 took their offensive line. That offensive line is gone in the portal like this. So they got to rebuild a lot. So but Dooley, if any, he's a good offensive mind. I know people give him a lot of crap, but as an OC, he's serviceable. He ain't gonna lose you a game as more than he'll win you. Well, so he'll win you a game more than he'll lose you a game, in my opinion.
The question for me is this with Grambling is one, man, Gerald laid it out. I mean, they lost everybody offensively because you got to even remember Lyndon Rash graduated. Yep. They lost their number 2 receiver to the portal. Then I think they had another guy graduate too.
Yeah.
And then their defense was so bad. And then they lost every good player from the defense too.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
So I just don't know what it's going to look like. And also too, with under Hugh, the big thing was Hugh would say he was giving up his play calling and then not give up his play calling.
We know exactly what point in the season last year he started calling plays again.
Alcorn game. And like the big thing for me is, does Mickey Joseph trust Dooley enough to call the offense all year, or how much input is Mickey Joseph going to have on it? And then 2, when you if we all sat here and put qualities in a list of what a quarterback in Dooley's system would look like, there's one glaring thing missing with Miles Crawley as a player that does not fit what Dooley likes to do with quarterbacks. How does that work? And is he able to build his offense around Crawley's inability to be a scrambler?
Yeah, he is a little bit statuesque.
Yes.
He
and that's no offense to Crawley because he can spin it and that's just not his game. But if you think you're going to get him out of the pocket running, man, you're going to find out quickly that ain't how it's going to work.
But to your point though, I think Mickey will give Dooley the leeway to run the offense. I mean, they got some history working together in the past at Grambling. They won the ring together at Grambling, so I think he trusts him enough, and I don't think Mickey is as egotistical as Hugh is. You know what I mean? To where he had to be involved like Hugh had to be.
That's fair. And I do think they added some really solid pieces out of the portal. Like, I know I made the joke they didn't have any talent. I think when you look like person for person they brought in, they probably have the most proven class of guys that they brought in, I would say. And then they did a really good job cleaning up on the high school trail late in that cycle. I just don't know how ready those true freshmen are going to be this year. But dude, I think Joseph did everything he could with what he was left with in that situation. So I think Grambling's going to be fine. My take on Grambling this year is that they're a year away. Like, we can have the conversation about them being a true contender, dark horse next year. I need a year to see it all put together, because I kind of this is a throwaway year for Mickey Joseph. If he goes out there and wins 7-8 games, then man, listen, more power to him. But I don't know if that's the standard for them this year. If he wins, give me anything between 4 and 6 wins, bro. A+ season for Mickey Joseph for me.
I'm with you.
I agree.
All right, fellas, listen. It's been a great one. Y'all ain't do too much lying, so I appreciate y'all for that. But G, let me ask this. I don't know if you can tell us when should we start seeing the watch list for the Aeneas Williams?
Oh man, that's gonna be pushing toward. We just got the list. We sent the list in. Now it has to go through background checks and get finalized. But I sent 19 names. Every conference and D1 HBCU football is represented. Y'all gonna like the list. Like, it's a tough. Now this is probably gonna be my favorite year. It's gonna be my favorite year. So look towards maybe probably within the next 2 weeks. That's when the Thorpe Award is going to drop theirs, and we'll drop that as well. So, and my top 10 prospects is going to come out either this week or next week on Locked On HBCU, and then I work with Zach, so I'll be dropping some FCS stuff as well, FCS prospects. So, yeah, these Williams going to be fun this year, though. I mean, God, these kids are good, man. Yeah, but these kids are good.
Yeah, I still say, never mind.
Jordan Toles to the order one of last.
Hey, that boy is balling out at Baltimore. He got a real good shot.
Listen, this is what I want people to understand. It's not I know people say, "Yo, Coach G has favorites." Yeah, my favorites are in NFL camps. So, like, Mikey Victor was one of my favorites. Kenny Gallup is going to be in somebody's camp next year. Jordan Toles, same thing. So. And Khalil Baker has a shot to be in someone's camp too. So, listen, just play the game.
I'm ready to see that list though. It's because it ain't as many like guys who kind of we hear about all the time this year. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them, like the Jordan Toes and a lot of those guys that done moved on. So it's like a new crop of guys this year. So I'm kind of ready to see who gonna make the list.
You'll like the list. I promise y'all. Y'all gonna like
it. Yeah. As always, man. Y'all know I got so much respect for both y'all for the hard work y'all put in on, HBCUs, FCS. It's hard. We know how hard it is because on the other side we do LSU, but we talk about everybody. On this side we talk about all, try to talk about all the HBCUs, and I know how hard it is. And you could throw out any random school in the middle of Wyoming, and Zach will tell you the background of the third string punter. And if they got any talent, any chance of making it on the roster, G will know who that person is. So I like I said, I think I can speak for both of us. We truly respect, the grind and the hard work for the that y'all put in. So looking forward to that, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
No, word is bond.
Yeah. So before we go, Zach, we're gonna let you on the front of the bus this time. let you go first. Tell the people where they can find you.
Oh man, no man, I appreciate y'all having me, man. You already know. Anytime you guys reach out, man, I always try to make time for you for the show for you guys, man. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, did we lose that?
He was mute. Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, we lost him. I think he got a phone call. Hey, G, tell the people where they can find you.
All right, I believe I changed my. Oh, it's right there. Jesus, whew, my brain is fried sometimes. All right, at Coach_Huggins I. That's what you technically call it. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. I post a lot of my Scout Report stuff on LinkedIn as well. Look to go to drafthbcuplayers.com. That's where I'm gonna drop my articles. My top 5 positional rankings is gonna be coming soon as well. So just stay tuned for that. Appreciate y'all for supporting and appreciate y'all bringing me on once again. Zach, what happened?
Dude, my whole laptop just froze in the Wi-Fi inside of this hotel.
All right, hey, Zach, go ahead,
man.
go ahead, Zach. Zach said, "Y'all ain't gonna put me at the front. I'm gonna go where I want to go."
Yeah, apparently. But nah, man, you know where to find us. You can find myself, man, G, Timothy, man, Coach Fred, all do great work, man. FCS Football Central, SI.com, /college/FCS. The Blue Bloods, as always. FCS All-American list drop today, man. Always excited to highlight like the best players at this level and anything that myself, Timothy, Gerald, Coach Fred could do to highlight the best players at this subdivision, man. I will do it. But appreciate y'all as always, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Yeah, Zach, I will see you tomorrow. I'm probably gonna come park by you and set up in there so we can get these interviews and stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it.
Fun without me, man.
It's not gonna be the same. I'm gonna have I think I got a cutout. I'm gonna get a cutout and we're gonna play a game, pin the headphones on the ant. So
You'll get the cutout like the people who passed away at the funeral, bro. Like,
just gonna have the angel wings and the clouds.
Just don't put no clouds behind me, dog.
Yeah, we putting I gotta put the clouds. Gotta put the clouds. But nah, man, it ain't gonna be the same. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I've been hitting up people like, hey, you want to come sit with me? And ain't gonna be there. You can come sit to do interviews with me.
I let you have my chicken this year, big dog.
Oh man,
Y'all eat good at SWAC Media Day,
bro.
I want to go.
Be good. Food
The first year we were there was better than last year. But
yeah,
I will say, I just want to put. See, I know y'all do LSU, but I don't know if I ever told y'all. But oh my god, the food, the press box, LSU. Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good, dog.
G is different when you go to those big bro. When Tennessee State sent me up to Notre Dame.
Oh my god,
bro, dude,
Fantastic.
Anything you needed, like they had like waiters for everybody in the press box. Damn deal, like what you need.
Bro,
I be,
you probably would have got better food at the tailgate at LSU than in the press box.
Oh, it was LSU
true.
versus it was LSU versus Southern 2 years ago, boy.
Oh boy, I was at that game, man. It was about 300,000 people on campus, bro. Tailgate everywhere.
Oh, it was beautiful. Oh, what a time.
Man, listen. I didn't know about going to the press box to get something to eat. And we went to I went to A&M homecoming and Dylan was with me. And Dylan was like, he was getting mad. He was like, it's hot. I'm hungry. Shout out to Keisha Kelly and Jennifer J. Murray. They were like, hey, just go to the press box. And Gil said, you go to the press box. Man, I went up in there. It was just like doors of heaven opened up. I'm talking about it was like pulled pork, barbecue, hot dogs, Polish sausage. I'm talking about it was a spread in there. I ain't even have to ask who made the potato salad. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I'll say Yale was probably my.
Or you know it's bad with some of those like smaller like FCS schools. They got like bags of chips and like warm water. It was like, bro, we appreciate the effort y'all put into this spread.
They did not care.
Nah.
Okay, I won't name the school. I almost named them, but it's in Louisiana. There's an FCS school. And, bro, I went up there after the game. It was a Thursday night game. They had all the waters. He goes, man, get you a cold water. They didn't even have the refrigerator plugged in. It was just sitting in the corner,
Ooh,
and everything was hot in there. I was so pissed.
What
Never
school is
going back
it in? What school is it in?
It's
Hold
probably-
on. Just blink your eyes when I name Nichols, McNeese.
Nah,
I
it was-
was about to say Nichols. I was going to say Nichols.
it was gonna be Nichols or Northwestern State for me. It was gonna be one of these two.
I was definitely going to say Nichols.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. They back talking about Morgan and Prairie View in the celebration. But matter of fact, I'm gonna remember this.
There ain't nobody but Lionel on his wife page, man. Let's get out of here.
Every time, listen, I'm gonna talk about them when the season over with. All right, man. We'll be back. We'll actually be back on Thursday. We'll have Kelly Flicks and our good man Jamie Walker. We're gonna talk D2 football. We ain't gonna lead them out. We're gonna let them get, get a preview too. So we'll be back on Thursday. Like that. We out. This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Bring me my money.